All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatir from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And actually, I think I might do a few sit downs on this because that's how good it was. But I'm going to be talking about the movie Bushwick, okay? And this is going to be a huge spoiler alert, all right? But before I tell you to turn this video off, okay? That movie was so superb and dynamic. I'm highly recommend that should be mandatory watching for every single brother in every GMS camp around the world. That movie was phenomenal. All right. So, okay, with that being said, if you haven't seen it and you don't want to hear it, now you can officially turn off this video and watch it later. But for those of you who don't really care and you're still tuned in, here we go. All right, you have this movie Bushwick, and basically it's a movie that talks about what's going to be happening here in America in the next couple of years. All right, it was a combination of martial law and the purge all in one. And it was very realistic because it dealt with a lot of things that are going on right now in the climate of this United States of America. Okay. And as I said, it was so much stuff that was going on in the film that I may have to do multiple parts to it, but I'll just say that at least for this time, this will be an intro into what I was watching in the movie, okay? And of course, I'm going to go to the all famous chapter that talks about all this stuff, and that is 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, starting at the 14th verse. Okay, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." That means destruction to the people who live in this world. "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." All right. It was like, man, I'd probably say 5 minutes into the movie, okay, when one of the main characters, I think her name was like Brittany Snow, but in the movie her name's Lucy, all right, when her boyfriend goes to check out what's going on once they get out the subway tunnel, and she hears an explosion, and her boyfriend comes back dead and crispy and burnt all up. You know, when she comes out of the subway, all hell is breaking loose. And like as it said, people got swords, and people literally had swords, bats, batons, guns, you name it, they had it, and they were fighting. I mean, it was like a big ass Royal Rumble, because at this time of the movie, she didn't know it yet, but martial law had already been declared, all right? And you had neighbors fighting against neighbors, all right? You had people fighting against the police, and you had the police fighting against the, it was a militia, but you know, you're going to have that in this modern day America. But at the same time, you could also think of them as these UN troops who are going to be, who are already here, and more will be coming over, these troops that are here they're going to be wreaking all types of hell on these folks. Okay? It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Right? Because this militia, later in the movie, you find out that these militias, they came from the, I guess if you want to call it the red states, the good old boy states, you know, Texas and Kentucky and I think it was like Kansas, you know, people that basically the good old boy, the red states, you know, that want to so-called make America great again. All right. They were fighting one another as in like a huge battle royal. Okay. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. Because it was martial law. There was no mayor. There was no senator. There was no governor. All right. The only thing that you heard about in the movie was the president trying to make a decision whether to give in to these, for lack of a better phrase, the rebels, all right, or stand and fight. And it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to, all right, because during the course of this movie, they had troops everywhere. All right. These troops were going around and they were invading people's homes, knocking down doors, sweeping houses, making sure everything and anyone in there, was killed, because they had a shoot to kill order in this certain place of Bushwick that they was going to. All right. And there was a part in the movie where the chick Brittany Snow, who's Lucy, and David Bautista, I think his name was Stoop. Okay. There was a part where they actually got to the church. They got to a church and they needed a moment to heal himself. But after he had a chance to heal himself because he got injured by an explosion where some glass cut him, they was like, all right, I'm feeling better. Let's go. So when they got up and they went to this certain section on top of the church, they were looking out and it was like fire and smoke everywhere. And the woman, Lucy, asked Stoop, like, how do we do this? Like, how do we get to where we're going? And he was like, one block at a time, because literally all hell was breaking loose. All right. It was just hell. I mean, it was literally hell at every single corner in the entire movie. All right. And that reminds me of Amos, the 5th chapter, and the 19th verse. Now, when you read this chapter in Amos, in the grand scheme of things, all right, it's talking about the nuclear destruction of Babylon the snake, all right? But this particular precept applies to the movie. It says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. All right. And this precept is explaining, you know, the a concept in the movie as they're trying to navigate through this neighborhood under martial law. There was literally danger lurking around every single corner. All right. When this girl made it out the subway, she had to be careful, because the first thing she saw was people running and police shooting at the militia. All right. Then when she went past that, all right, a guy tried to come out of his house. He got shot in the chest. All right. Then she tried to escape to another location. All right. She saw two dudes kill a guy. All right. She tried to find safety in a church. The militia bust in there. All right. It was just hell everywhere. Everywhere. It was no place that they could go where they could fully just rest. Even when they thought, when they had a chance to rest, something always would happen. All right. There was one incident in the movie where, actually two instances. The first one is when they went to her grandmother's house, because that's why the girl Lucy came in to Bushwick to see her grandmother. All right. Lucy and Stoop got to her grandmother's house, but her grandmother was dead. All right. She had heart problems, but they only had enough time to she only had enough time to kind of give her condolences and have her finger sewn shut because it got shot off. All right. And no sooner does she get her finger sewn up, you got the military, the militia coming in, busting down the door. So then they go to her sister's house, who I claim for the kingdom, but to see if she's okay. All right. Once they get there, the sister's looking for, I forgot what she was looking for, maybe a change of clothes or whatever. And Lucy was looking for a change of clothes or something. I forgot what she was doing. And her sister was in the living room with Stupe, and she's high as hell, trying to seduce him. And in the process of doing that, a guy from the militia bust through the door, through the window. So it was just like there was no, it was just no rest. It was just danger at every single corner, at every single second of the day. And when this economy collapses, when this race war happens, and all hell breaks loose over here in America, literally, it's going to be like that over here, literally. All right. And the only thing that's going to save you is being a man of the Lord. Because as it showed you in the movies, when them bullets run out, when that food runs out, when you women out there, when you don't have a man for protection, all right, you're going to meet a very cruel fate out here. And it's going to be dangerous because you cannot possibly prepare for every single little thing that's going to happen when all hell breaks loose. All right. And like I said, there's a few more things that, I do want to talk about. Like I said, I probably will do this in maybe a part 2 and a part 3. But because this will be a very, very long sit down. But I just wanted to say that for right now. And like I said, please go watch the movie. I highly recommend it. Want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there who are pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. And with that, we're going to say shalom.